Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this extended reading here on Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the first thing that came up in the YouTube reading, which, by the way, if you do want to explore the YouTube reading, the link to that is in the Patreon post. I do recommend listening to that reading first for context if you haven't yet. So I am starting by shuffling the traditional tarot cards because I felt that when it comes to this masculine presence we've been speaking to, he is coming through really strongly through this particular deck today. So in the first reading, we talked about how there are perceived obstacles. These could be actual obstacles or just simply perceived obstacles that this masculine is seeing or sensing between yourself and him as he desires to move this forward, or again, there's that very strong desire to come together with you with that Two of Cups card reversed that came out earlier. But that feeling at the same time that somehow there was something in the way. And as I said, something in the way, okay, we get the Justice card. This card very often speaks to karma. So there could be a karmic partner involved here for one or both parties. There might be a karmic pattern, a karmic energy manifested in some type of way that is creating some kind of an obstacle. Okay, so for someone, I'm hearing that this is a very pure kind of soul connection, whether it's a high vibrational soulmate or twin flame. And because of the purity of this connection, it is calling to the surface some kind of karmic wounding that must be cleared away before this connection can actually ascend in the 3D to a higher level of commitment. We also got the Five of Wands card reversed. So a compromise, the end of a struggle. For some reason, I saw something about a court. So someone could be going through some kind of a court case. I heard for some, this may actually be someone going through a divorce. This may be someone considering getting a divorce in the middle of a very difficult marriage situation, connection. This also could be someone fighting within themselves and needing to resolve some kind of internal conflicts. But there is some conflict that needs to be resolved here before this can move forward. But I have to tell you, I don't feel that this connection is going anywhere, even as these karmic energies are being cleared, even as these compromises are being reached, these conflict situations that could be obstacles are being dissolved. But what I'm seeing is there's really a longevity to this connection because I feel for most of you a soul connection, again, a very pure, high vibrational soul connection. And also I'm feeling that on the part of this masculine, he's already very much invested emotionally and mentally for the long haul here. We get the Chariots, victory, overcoming obstacles. So what your higher selves here want your physical 3D selves to know is that you are capable of overcoming whatever obstacles you perceive to be between you, but that it is going to be challenging at times because this card also represents willpower, hard work, focus. I'm hearing that regardless of what the manifested external obstacle or struggle is, what's really being cleared away are limiting beliefs from within that represent some kind of internal karmic cycle or pattern. And this is restriction. With the Eight of Swords in the upright position, feeling trapped, victimized, backed into a corner, anxiety, feeling hopeless or stuck in something. So someone here could be in a cycle of having in the past given their voice away, given their power away, not really having in the past taken control of themselves and their life, being victimized by other people or by their circumstances. And this person is really reclaiming their power, awakening in this situation that feels very imprisoning, very entrapping, and freeing themselves, realizing they hold the key to freeing themselves. And what I have to tell you is this feels like a very mirrored energy. I actually feel that you are freeing each other here, that this is a major part of the reason on a soul level that you've met at this time in the 3D physical world, in this incarnation. Because I feel that both of you have actually been trapped in something very heavy, something very dense, something very chaotic. And there's been this feeling of having given your power over to that person or to that situation and desiring freedom. And I feel that you are helping each other to find your freedom. That's what's happening at the energetic level. Although on the surface, I see that the externally manifested situations that are stemming from that energy may actually look very different. So for example, for one of you, this could be a job. For the other one, it could be a romantic relationship, but take it as it resonates with you. So we have the Three of Wands, but this card was in the reverse position. And what I'm seeing is that the masculine I'm speaking to here, prior to meeting you, was someone who very much lived mostly in the present. I see that regardless of whether or not he had success in his work, I feel that for the most part, he would take things as they come. He didn't really think ahead too far into the distant future. And if he was being fully honest, he would say it's because he didn't even really know what he wanted for himself, his life, but especially when it comes to love relationships, I feel like this masculine really desired a kind of specific feminine energy, a kind of specific loving relationship, really desired this. Like I see this being the deepest, strongest hidden desire of his heart. But the reason he didn't really factor that into his plans is because until he met you, he didn't really know what that looked like. It's kind of cheesy, but I see this masculine telling me the moment he laid eyes on you, he knew he'd found what he had been desiring in the most secret, deepest parts of him, that he'd almost been afraid to even allow himself to want, because he didn't want to be disappointed. He didn't want to be trapped in some kind of a fantasy world. But I see him literally seeing you as the realization of that dream that he would hardly allow himself to even fantasize about because of fear of being disappointed, of longing for something that just doesn't exist. I feel like this masculine may have gone through some disillusionment in love, but meeting you has really given him such a strong point of focus. You are what is dominantly on his conscious mind, his thoughts, his emotions. By far, I feel that he's channeling, directing a lot of thought and emotional energy towards you. And we also have, once again, the Four of Wands. And it's also in the reverse position. Leaving home, canceled plans, unhappy families. This masculine may have come from an unhappy family situation growing up where there was a lot of chaos, a lot of disappointments or anxiety. And this may be part of why for some reason I'm hearing for a specific masculine, he may have told himself he never really wanted to get married or have kids. Even if he did end up doing these things with someone else, there was always this feeling of, I wasn't really sure what I wanted out of relationships because I got off to a very turbulent and chaotic start. And I also see that even if this masculine has participated in other love relationships, he's always been holding a part of himself back from these relationships. He's always been told, potentially by other people, or even thought to himself that he was being too idealistic in love, really holding out for quote unquote the one. But upon meeting you, I feel that this masculine sees you as the one. we have the Queen of Swords, and I feel this is both how the masculine here perceives you as this very queen energy. I keep wanting to say it's like you are like a queen and he sees himself as your knight in this situation, someone who is dedicated to you, someone who wants to fight for you, who wants to defend you, regardless of there's just this loyalty, regardless of whether or not he's ever elevated to that partner status by your side as your king to meet your queen energy. I see him being very loyal, wanting to defend you, wanting to protect you, wanting to give to you, to give everything to you. He keeps reiterating that. I want to give everything to you. However, as a perceived obstacle, I see that although he really admires you, Divine Feminine, as being this queen energy, he sees you as someone, by the way, there's something about you being very witty when it comes to your sense of humor. He loves your intelligence, your mind, your sense of humor, but also your moral compass. He sees you as someone who really stands up for what she believes to be right. And this is, I think, one of the most admirable qualities that this masculine sees within you. But when it comes to potential obstacles that this masculine is perceiving, I see that there might be a shadow side to this Queen of Swords energy. Yes, he perceives you as being very intelligent, very capable, very powerful in that sense, spiritually and also intellectually. But I see that at times he feels as though your mind gets in the way of your heart, meaning although you always stand up for what is right when it comes to others, sometimes when it comes to your own emotions, you get very much in your head. You won't always allow yourself to really tap into, what am I feeling about this person or situation? How can I follow my heart here? Now, I'm not saying this is true or false about you, Divine Feminine. I'm just saying this is how this masculine is seeing you at this time. He's, again, feeling frustrated about potential hesitation to bring this together fully in the physical 3D world, but he sees part of the obstacle being that you are someone who is so intelligent and so capable mentally that at times you don't always just allow yourself to be led blindly by your heart. And again, I see this masculine kind of asking you symbolically to take his hand and to be led by your hearts. Now, I also have to tell you that for some of you, this masculine might also perceive the obstacle or an obstacle as being a different masculine energy in your heart, in your mind, in your energy field, or in your life that from his perspective represents the King of Wands reversed. So whoever this other masculine is, and again, I'm not saying that these statements are reality, are true or false. I'm speaking to what this masculine is thinking in 3D, what he's feeling in 3D. And if there's another masculine who has been around you in the past, who you've been through cycles of frustration or pain with, I see that this masculine does not think highly of this other masculine. He sees him as being someone who holds you back, someone who is selfish, mainly looking out for himself. Potentially, the word liar keeps coming up. So I feel like this masculine sees this other masculine who might be in your life or in your energy. This could be a friend, a family member. This, for most, I feel will be an ex or a current turbulent love situation that has a lot of your attention, Divine Feminine, or has had a lot of your attention and energy in the past. And I want to say that this situation makes this masculine feel really insecure, but he would never say that. He feels insecure because of how much of your time and energy has gone into this person, either in the past or present, but he doesn't show that to you, is what I'm seeing. What he feels within himself, though, is almost this like anger and frustration directed towards this masculine. He sees him as not being the best for you, not treating you the way that you deserve. And again, there's that very protective energy coming up here. Again, we have the King of Cups reversed. It's like you are this Queen of Swords energy, but this masculine sees any other potential masculine who's been around you If this is connecting for you, someone who's been dominant in your mind or in your feelings in the past or present, as being someone who has been holding you back, has only been looking out for himself, who this may even be a masculine who, and again, I'm speaking to the other masculine, the one who maybe someone you have to forgive, someone from your past. I feel that this masculine also sees this as someone who might be addicted to something that is causing you a lot of pain, Divine Feminine. So they might be addicted to certain substances, to alcohol, to negative behavior patterns. Yeah, this masculine in your life who cares a lot about you, who's very protective and defensive of you, does not think highly of this other person. That is for sure, if there is another person in your energy field. And again, only take this as it resonates. And that other masculine might be a father figure, a friend, a boss, or a romantic situation, past or present. But mainly what I'm getting from the masculine coming through that we've been channeling mostly is this very protective, defensive kind of energy when it comes to you. So I want to know what else this masculine is thinking or feeling about you. Ace of Swords, clarity. This masculine feels very clear about what he wants when it comes to you, and he's willing to fight for it. I'm hearing him say, in every daydream, you are there. And again, this may have been someone who didn't even really allow themselves to daydream in the past. I feel him really developing a lot of power of vision for his own future. And that vision always inherently now includes you. And so if you're feeling really pulled to him emotionally, physically, spiritually, yes, I feel a pure high vibrational soul connection here of some kind. But there also is just the fact that this masculine is manifesting you so intensely. He sees and is fighting for a breakthrough with you. He wants to clearly and openly communicate how he's feeling. In fact, I feel that for many of you, he's done this already, either through words or through actions. Yeah, with the resilience card, very stubborn in fighting for you and fighting for this connection, feeling very resilient, wanting to really dedicate himself, his focus, his energy and attention here. And with the Three of Swords reversed, I see this masculine being aware potentially that there's more going on in your life, Divine Feminine, than just him. Whereas I feel you to him are like this singular fixation or focus. I see that for you I'm hearing the distraction of pain. So there might be past heartbreaks that you're still healing from. There may be a person from your past who's still in your life and a situation that's been feeling foggy that you're trying to figure out. This could be just a lot of heavy energy around you that you are working on releasing. But I see this masculine saying, I want to help you let go of your pain and forgive, release your past, and move forward. What else is this masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? Queen of Wands. You, Divine Feminine, may be someone who has your own business or who is doing well financially. If not seeing that financial success yet, although I see that for many of you, then you are really on the rise when it comes to an idea you're setting into motion, when it comes to your work. And you carry this very magnetic energy that this masculine is feeling. In his words, he's almost feeling just hypnotized or mesmerized by you. Anytime I ask this masculine what he's feeling about you, queen cards always come up. So he really honors and admires your highest nature that I feel he both sees in you, but also highlights in you. That's the beautiful thing about his presence in your life. I feel that when you're with this masculine, you actually feel more empowered. You feel more creative. You feel capable of healing. You feel loved. You feel stronger. And it's a really, really beautiful thing. It's a blessing, really, regardless of how this connection unfolds or how you choose to unfold this connection moving into the future. So now I want to know what this masculine's higher self wants to say, because I do feel his higher self being fairly talkative as well. So what does this masculine's higher self want to say? Relationships. Yeah, I want a greater commitment with you. I want a relationship with you. But also this card says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. And I feel this masculine's higher self, his soul self here saying, you and I are in each other's lives for a reason. We have encountered each other for a higher level spiritual reason. And I want to feel into that with you. I want to, in a sense, remember what that reason was, because clearly there's something very fated, very predestined about our meeting. And we also have the Knight of Wands card again, passion in the upright position. So this connection might feel in the physical like it's moved very quickly, or that you got close to this person very fast. And maybe this is part of what is bringing up the hesitation. But I feel this divine masculine or masculine's higher self saying, come along this adventure with me. And also, if it feels as though things have been moving fast, it's because we're just picking up where we left off at a soul level. With Queen of Pentacles reversed, I feel this masculine's higher self saying, I know that you've been through a very dark period of time in your life recently. I know that things have happened in your 3D physical world to make you feel destabilized, to cause feelings of insecurity or instability, to surface these fears within you. But know that with the transition card, the Six of Swords upright, there are calmer waters ahead. We can heal this together. We can progress together. I truly believe we can move forward and experience peace together. But we have the choice card, 2 paths, decisions, options, planning. But I know that, and what I feel this masculine saying is, I know that you are being presented with choices here, Divine Feminine. Maybe this choice is which masculine to move forward with. If there are more than one in your life, this may be whether or not to continue pursuing this relationship. And I feel this masculine's higher self saying that no matter what, I will always have your highest good at heart. I want you to make the decision that is for your highest good. Because of that protectiveness, I feel for you, and no matter what, we always will be connected because there is this pure soul connection between us, and I will always have your best interest in my heart and respect whatever choices you make from your own conscious free will in this incarnation, is what I feel this masculine saying. But what I really want with 4 of Wands upright is for us to come together and build a team together. This card really represents teamwork, prosperity, working together, reunion, creating happiness together. And I feel this masculine's higher self saying, I know we could create a lot of happiness together. We also have the Strength card, inner strength. And I'm also feeling this masculine's higher self saying to you, Divine Feminine, be strong in whatever is right for you. And a kind of final message of affirmation from this masculine's higher self to you, feminine, is strength begins with the choice to be kind to myself. So I hear him reminding you to really tap into that self-compassion, that self-love, and choose what is best for you, because I do see him aware that you have a tendency to overgive of yourself to others because you do carry that really beautiful, compassionate spirit. So, wow, very lovely messages coming through from this masculine. And I now want to channel some spirit guide messages for you, Divine Feminine, from your higher self, from your guides. I also just saw the number 444 as well. So let's start by channeling information about this situation from your past that came up in the first reading. I feel this was a situation that was very heavy, very intense. For some of you, this could have been a twin flame situation, a soulmate, a karmic, some kind of romantic soul-based connection that became unbalanced and led to a lot of chaos, heartbreak, and intensity. For others of you, this may have been a job, a work situation, a life situation, something that pushed you into a kind of void period, I'm hearing a second dark night of the soul. Something that you've experienced before but didn't expect to experience again for some listening. So I want to know what your spirit guides want you to know about that first situation. Okay, so we have the Lovers reversed. Okay, so for many of you, this was a love situation, some kind of a union, a partnership. I'm sensing a lot of depth here. So for many of you, this may have been a long-term romantic relationship. This may have been a marriage. If not a physical 3D relationship in love, this was a very ancient soul connection you encountered in the physical world. The Lovers is very often a twin flame card as well. So again, this may have been a twin flame situation that became very unbalanced, very intense. I see that there may have been, as a manifestation of this energetic imbalance, there may have been trust issues. There may have been some kind of a very painful separation. I see this being a very confusing time. I'm going to get a few more cards here. I feel like this situation really dimmed your light or caused you to dim your lights. But at the same time, it's so complicated because it also catalyzed you. While this may have been a very dark time of your life, going through this chaos or turbulence that you may still be going through, this is so convoluted in a sense because your physical 3D self and people around you may have thought your light was being dimmed, but really what was happening is this really intense inner transformation was taking place that looked like a void, that looked like a rock bottom on the external, which really was the metamorphosis period, sometimes what we call the cocoon phase of healing, where you have to go deep within yourself to discover who you truly are. And I feel this person or situation pushed you to do that, but specifically with the Emperor, they pushed you to connect in with your inner sense of stability, rather than seeking that stability externally. And this may have happened through a situation where you lost that external stability, where you no longer felt secure externally with this person or felt stabilized. Again, this may not necessarily be a person. It could be any life situation. This also can represent a father figure. So somehow there may have been a father wound coming up here for someone that was in a deep process of healing. What I'm seeing is, whatever the situation was, part of why it felt so unbalanced is because even though the love was and is mutual at a soul level, if this is a love situation, I see that there was someone here who was very repressed. I sense it may have been the masculine in the situation. Again, if this was a love or twin flame or soulmate situation, I'm getting that the masculine here may have not reciprocated in 3D the love that he felt at a soul level. He may be someone who struggles to fully communicate how he's feeling, even to himself, let alone to other people. And this may have led you, Divine Feminine, to feel as though you were giving out a lot of love that wasn't being reciprocated. This could be a father situation or a work situation, some kind of circumstance where you felt like you were giving a lot more than you were getting back. And ultimately, this led to a lot of feelings of sadness and pain. We have the Page of Swords, but this is in the reverse position. Selfishness. So from a 3D perspective, the others involved or someone involved that may have caused you pain in this situation may have seemed very self-focused, very turned in on themselves. And really this is because they were just very wounded and essentially were in a survival mode where they weren't willing to yet face and heal their wounds, but had to really just meet their own needs because they hadn't really learned how to fully open themselves to connecting with and trusting other people. And so what this looked like on the surface was selfishness, but really this was just them living from an unhealed state of being. But ultimately I do see that and this began to negatively impact you. And I see that this may have ended very quickly. This situation, of course, it didn't really end from a 5D perspective, but it may have changed in 3D very fast. Very fast. For some reason, I keep hearing something that happened very fast altered the entire course of this connection or of your life. Whoever I'm speaking to there, that may not be for everyone. But I see that this very fast-moving, sudden change may have resulted in you, Divine Feminine, moving away very quickly from this person or situation. You physically may have moved away from them. But what I see is that during this time, you've been building your own mental strength with the Four of Swords reversed. You have been going through the next phase of your spiritual awakening process. You've been taking a lot of time for yourself, but ultimately learning how to, after that period of isolation, of hermit mode, to really reintroduce your true soul self to the world. And I feel that other masculine we were channeling may be representing you reintroducing yourself out in the world, you feeling as though there's almost this sense that you went through a period of time where you were alive but felt like you weren't really living, like life was just entirely on autopilot. You were in this void, walking through this fog, and this new love or this new situation coming in for you, this masculine, may be representing you really feeling like you're living again, feeling like you're no longer hiding away with yourself or isolating or closing yourself off, but really opening yourself up again to the world. Like, again, I'm seeing that flower imagery of a flower blossoming, opening back up after a challenging period or season of winter. Yeah, we get the Nine of Swords, but this card is reversed, letting go of negativity and stress, a light at the end of the tunnel, recovering. So I see you being in this very deep period of recovery. So, wow, very, very powerful messages coming through. I now want to channel a bit more from your spirit guides, Divine Feminine, about more on this new love situation. When I say new, it may not necessarily be new in terms of earth years. It just has this very light energy about it that feels fresh, that feels new. And what I feel your spirit guide saying is, Queen of Cups upright, a choice based on sincere feelings. Stay in touch with your emotions is what I feel your spirit guide saying. Allow your emotions to be your guide. And what they are guiding you to is so much beauty and wonder and magnificence. With the Nine of Cups upright, this speaks to manifestation, wishes coming true, your dreams coming true, fulfillment. And I see that is in store for you, regardless of what 3D choices or directions you take. I'm seeing that card from the Starseed Oracle. All paths lead home, meaning if you allow your emotions to be your guide, allow yourself to be guided by your true inner self, by your heart, you will Be led home, meaning to that most authentic space within yourself from which you will manifest your highest happiness, health, abundance, love, connection, regardless of what bends or forks you take in the road. I also see the Three of Cups in the upright position, reunion, celebration. This can also speak to a wedding or engagement, happy times. And I see this card speaking to the fact that very happy times are ahead for you. You are that Queen of Wands energy coming up here as well. You carry a very magnetic, vibrant energy. You are both generous to others, but also self-loving, because you are learning how to tap into that very abundant energy where you allow receptively abundance to flow into your being and equally to flow out in the form of love, compassion, generosity, affection towards others, upliftment towards others. I'm also seeing that if you're feeling in a dark time still at this moment, all of these cards are boding very, very positive for you. We have the Ace of Swords. This card really represents breakthroughs, energy beginning to pick up and move more quickly for you in your life in this connection, receiving clarity if there's anything you've been feeling a bit uncertain or unclear about. And I want to see if your guides just have one final message for you from the Starseed Oracle deck. So can I get one final message here? Earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. That feels like a really beautiful place to close this reading. I hope that some message from this reading brought you clarity or guidance at this time. If so, I would love to hear from you in the comments under the video. Otherwise, I am wishing you a beautiful rest of your week, and I will talk to you again in Friday's Patreon reading.